I was strong.
How to get
We gotta get
along.
them. So you're back from outer space. Okay. Welcome. I will survive. You are surviving, and you are sitting here next to me. I'm here today. So happy to be here today with my good friend and Miami Beach Commissioner, Michael Gongora.
Thank you, Kristen. I'm glad to be sitting here. And yes, I have survived and I will keep on surviving.
I mean, about 4 months ago, was it?
And yeah, beginning of August, I got the diagnosis.
Michael, you found a tumor in your neck.
Yes.
And you went, tell us, you went to the hospital. Where did you go? To your just primary care physician?
You know, it's a process. I had a tumor growing and I thought I had an infection, like my lymph node was infected. So I started going to my regular doctor, and it starts this whole process of tests that eventually got me to a CAT scan. And I could tell my doctor knew something was wrong. He immediately called me and said, "You need to see a specialist. You need to do a biopsy." And on August 7th, I got the call that it was cancerous. And then it starts a whole new process of seeing how you're going to treat, who you're going to treat with. I wanted to move very quickly and get aggressive. So I treated September and all of October, and I've spent November recovering from the treatment.
Hallelujah. But this was not easy. I mean, once you got your diagnosis, how many different doctors did you have to go see before you even started the treatment?
I went to 3 different hospitals that I was told were the specialists in Miami-Dade County. I ended up settling on the Baptist Miami Cancer Center, primarily because it was the newest facility. And my treatment was very radiation heavy because of where my tumor was located. And it's a new facility with state-of-the-art equipment. I had friends there, and I just felt very comfortable that that would probably be the best place. And I think I made the right decision.
And I mean, you've never been sick before. You're one of the healthiest people I know. I mean, you've never even get colds or anything. So this came as a huge shock. And I kind of followed every single week. It was 7 weeks of treatment, and you got radiation almost every day, right?
Every day, Monday through Friday.
And at some points during the treatment, your vocal cords were straight burned and you couldn't speak. Yeah. And you've really made it through. Yay. Thank goodness.
Well, yes. Watch out, world. I got my voice back.
He's healthy and he's ready to run for mayor of Miami Beach. Yes, he is.
You heard it from Kristen.
No, Michael, I'm so glad that you're healthy. It was terrible during the cancer diagnosis to think, like, what does this mean for Michael? Because we need him so much. I mean, apart from the fact that I love you as, you know, a brother and a friend, I thought, what would Miami Beach do without your voice? You've become so pivotal. And, you know, a lot of people didn't know that you were sick. When you rang the bell, and you rang the bell how long ago? When you at the cancer center, when you finished
October, I think the 30th.
Yeah, when you finish the treatment, you go, and because a lot of people don't know, but more and more people are getting cancer. I had a mammogram myself this morning, and I was asking the lady as she was doing the sonogram. By the way, I had a mammogram because I should have a mammogram, but mostly because of what happened to you. And I realized that I need to get serious with all of these diagnostic tests, and I can't take anything for granted. And now I'm like checking for lumps, and I'm looking, because politics is stressful, you know.
I think you're fine, but of course you need to get tested. Everybody needs to make sure they're following up with their doctor. Women, for sure, mammogram is a must. But men, if you feel anything, if you see anything strange, in my case, this tumor, you got to get it checked out right away.
But you know what it's like with politics. You get so caught up and you're stressed out. And if you're campaigning, you don't always take the time to go and do your diagnostic tests. And then a lot of politicians, it's so stressful. I remember when Commissioner Dee Whitehorn also had cancer, you know, when she was on the dais. And I always used to kind of say that it's the stress of political life that maybe weakens your immune system. But I mean, who knows why it really happens. Only 5 to 10% of cancer cases are genetic, by the way. Most of them really are due to, I'm sure you've researched this at this point.
Absolutely. And I've changed my diet. Obviously, you lose a lot of weight when you're treating for cancer because you can't eat. It's when you're having radiation daily on your neck. It's very painful. You drink a lot of protein shakes, soft foods, A lot of eggs, interestingly enough. I'm curious to know if that's how everybody that had what I had felt, but like eggs would keep me going. It was one of the few foods that I could kind of consistently eat.
Really? So
Yeah.
a lot of eggs, and you've lost 25 pounds?
Yeah, or more.
And I hope that, and you've changed your lifestyle.
Yes.
And it really forced you to kind of slow down overall,
Yeah, this is
right?
the first week I'm out again. I've decided 4 weeks post treatment, I'm ready to face the world responsibly, wearing my mask, maintaining social distance, washing my hands a lot, but happy to be back working full time. Although I worked the entire time of my treatment, I attended every commission meeting, I kept up with my law clients, but it was hard. There were days that I definitely was very low energy and pain, but keeping going and working for people like me that like to work, it really was a good thing.
No, and you were hardworking. I remember you were leaving meetings to go and get your chemo and radiation treatment and then returning to the meetings. And I remember needing your help, and the parking department needing your help at that September meeting. And you were a good soldier. You went and did these really debilitating, horrible treatments. And then you came back and you fought for these employees and
Yeah.
these union members and these workers, and it's so admirable. And I don't know what we would do on the commission without you. I think that we have a great commission right now between Mickey Steinberg, Mark Samuelian, Stephen Miner, and you. You guys are like the fabulous four.
Why, thank you.
I don't have much
Thank
to
you,
say
Kristen.
about the Ricky. Ricky is okay. I don't know that.
Yeah, Ricky and I usually end up voting the same way. We approach problems from different viewpoints, but we usually get to the same conclusion.
If we're not talking about politics, then Ricky and I are very aligned in certain principles. But if it's anything political, especially when it comes down to micro politics locally, we are completely opposed.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can sit down and have a great conversation and enjoy, a cocktail and a meal. And I could one day, Ricky Ariola, become your mother-in-law.
Wow. Interesting.
Come to mama. So let's talk about important stuff in Miami Beach. Is there anything you want to add about this cancer experience? Anything you want to tell people?
Yeah, I want to tell people obviously, health comes first. When you're dealing with a health issue, you really have to take care of yourself in a way that I hadn't been taking care of myself previously. Um, I know there's a lot of people that are feeling down, depressed during the pandemic, a lot of people, single people that are home alone, that are feeling bad. Having to deal with cancer, it made me have to focus on just that. And it made me realize my life is great. I want to live. I want to get better. And now that I am getting better, I want to, share this experience with other people. Life is precious. Yes, there's down moments. Yes, there's sad moments. Don't get caught up in them, because once you're actually dealing with something scary like cancer, it helps put all these other problems in perspective. I also think it's made me a stronger person and a stronger elected official and commissioner. And I'm ready to get back and fight for the residents and fight for the issues that are important to us.
You are already so strong. But I'm sure it's perspective. If anybody out there has been putting off any type of diagnostic treatments just because, go in, because most of these cancers that are detected early can be treated successfully. And as we said, more and more people, young people in their 20s, 30s are getting cancer. It's the leading cause of death around the world, I believe.
Kristen, it's shocking at the hospital. People that I knew going through treatment who weren't public as I was, people that I didn't know, but you saw everything from very, very serious cases, which would make me come home so depressed, seeing people that looked like they were near death. But then sometimes I'd see people like teenagers there that were going through the treatment, that were so brave and so strong and just on their phones playing video games like just another day at school. So it's very connects you to other people and what they're going through. I really felt empathetic that my treatment wasn't as bad as other people's treatment. I just felt really horrible for them. But I do see cancer is something that is growing. There are so many cases. So please check yourself out. Make sure you see your doctor if you think anything could possibly be wrong, because most of it is treatable if you catch it early.
Yeah, I went for my mammogram at Mount Sinai on Miami Beach this morning, and it's really well organized, and the process is very comfortable, and they give you a robe, and there's a cappuccino machine that I think there's a nonprofit that raises money so that you have these little niceties while you're waiting for the results of your mammogram and sonogram. I ran into your aide. Diana was getting her mammogram too, so that was great. And now you're going to be more. You were already compassionate.
Yes.
But now it's like a humbling, just core, empathetic, compassionate. And what more do we want in our elected officials?
I mean, I
Than that.
served with Dee Dee Whitehorn when she went through her first treatment, and I was empathetic and I was there and we were friends, but you can't really relate if you haven't had a similar treatment. And Dee Dee has had so many treatments. I really admire her strength, her resiliency. It gives you a new level of respect for people.
I know. I'm so happy that that you're better. Miami Beach, this is going to be a crazy year, 2021. It's our election cycle year. Of course, we are in off presidential years, right?
Yeah.
We're one of those cities, and it will probably never change. The first order of business is the city manager. 1 week, Jimmy Morales announced his resignation and said, I'm doing this because, I'm not looking for another job. And then the next week he said, I have another job. Why do you think he wasn't just transparent about the entire thing and said, I'm possibly going to have another job in Miami-Dade County? I mean, this is the kind of opacity that we are now going to have at the county level. Listen, I wish him well, but I have to criticize you, Jimmy, because, telling the commission one thing. What happened at the commission?
Well, when Jimmy called me, I told him I'd already heard a rumor that he was going to be a part of Daniela Levine Cava's administration. He didn't confirm or deny that. But I think it was probably in play. He didn't feel comfortable at that time, I guess, coming public with it. And I assume he thought he was going to be at the city till February initially. But like politics happens, life happens. I guess Daniela wanted him sooner. And then the date moved up to next Friday, I think is his last day, December 11th.
So basically, Miami Beach is now without a city manager.
It will be. And it's kind of rushed our timeline because we were preparing for February to hire a full-time manager. And we were thinking we might need an interim eventually, but now we need an interim by next week. So we have 2 meetings coming up, full commission meetings. We have a Friday special commission meeting on Ocean Drive, and the mayor placed a discussion item on the interim city manager. I'm hoping that they're not going to try to push through a decision on Friday and that it's just a discussion.
But he can't, because we can't turn discussion items into action items anymore. Didn't you make a resolution about that and it passed the commission?
That has been my position, but people still do it. I'm hopeful that he's not trying to do that. He just wants to start the discussion and that the vote will take place as we've anticipated at Wednesday, December 9th's commission meeting.
So who has applied to be Miami Beach's city manager so far?
Nobody's applied. We haven't opened the process. I'm actually speaking to the recruitment company tomorrow, and we're going to be approving their contract to go out to the public. There are 3 high-ranking city employees that have expressed their interest, and they're applying. They've let people know.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mind, I would not vote for them to be the interim, and I don't believe they are applying to be the interim because they want to be considered for the full-time position.
But don't you think that the interim, wouldn't it be great to have somebody as interim who possibly could become the city manager? That way so who would you appoint as the interim person then? If not,
I can tell you the 3 high-ranking people that are looking to apply for the job because I don't think that it's a secret.
Can I make noises if I don't like them?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
2 of them are assistant city managers currently. Alina Hudak.
I like her. If relocate to Miami Beach, though.
You have to ask her personally. I've made it be known that I would prefer our next manager to live in Miami Beach.
Please,
for sure.
Yes.
Assistant city manager Eric Carpenter.
I actually like Eric too. Perfect. But you have to relocate. You got to leave Davie. Got to leave that ranch and come to Miami Beach because it's important that you drive our streets, that your trash is picked up by our contractors. I think it makes a huge difference when you live in the city that you manage. I also think the police chief should live in our city. And then who's the third?
Yeah. CFO John Woodruff. Kristen.
After the Geo bond, and I've seen how he is not transparent, how he does people's biddings. I find him to be petty. I'm surprised that he's even applying for this job. I don't think he's highly qualified at all. Apart from being our CFO, he's never managed a city before. So I don't understand why he's applying to this other than somebody likes him out there.
Everybody wants to move up in their career, and you can't fault people for trying and having that ambition.
No, but I saw when I was a commissioner and he was the financial officer, he would share one narrative with me, and then I would find out the truth afterward. And I don't think that's what we need for Miami Beach at this point in time. And I can say whatever I want because I'm not. Well, I'm not serving right now, but the truth needs to be told. I do find Eric Carpenter to be a kind, compassionate, competent person. And I think the same of Alina Hudak, though. I think that those are two really quality candidates. So you've got some good choices.
They're good people. And it hasn't even opened up to the public. We're going to have dozens and dozens of applicants for this position, both people from around the county as well as people around the country. Last time we had the opening back in 2012, people applied from all over the country. Somebody from Aspen or Vail, somebody from Palm Springs. We had some really interesting choices. So it'll be interesting with this qualified group of employees currently, as well as seeing people that want to come here from other parts of the country. So I'm super excited to see what's out there.
Listen, we need somebody who can come in and make our government efficient, get better contracts across the board from technology to infrastructure. We have this whole Ocean Drive situation, which is what we're going to talk about next. And the amount of time and resources that all of you have dedicated to Ocean Drive at this point is crazy. It's 10 blocks that are unsafe, would you say? And there's always incidences, and for whatever reason, we can't clean it up. I would just think that behind the scenes, there's some sort of. Did we go offline? Oh, there's some sort of. Oh, there's some sort of directive, I think, behind the scenes. Saying don't leave Ocean Drive alone so that we can redevelop it. I've always thought that as a conspiracy theory to myself, but now you told me that Dan Gelber is trying to upzone and build on Ocean Drive, which is sacred. It's like trying to upzone Miracle Mile. Just because you build.
It's not actually Ocean Drive. His item is to upzone the east side of Collins Avenue.
Oh, but he does have a land use item coming that was approved by his favorite friends on the commission, Ricky Areola and David Richardson, which would be an upzoning of Ocean Drive also, right? And that kind of sailed through the land use.
I am unaware of an upzoning item for Ocean Drive. The item that was before land use and will be discussed again on Friday is Mayor Gelber's item to upzone the east side of Collins Avenue. The hotels are currently zoned for 50 feet in height, and this item would allow them to go to 75 feet. So a 50% increase. I was told by our planning director that there's 33 hotels on the east side of Collins Avenue that would qualify for the upzoning.
So how many more potential hotel rooms would Dan Gelber like to add to Miami Beach before he leaves?
I don't know the number of hotel rooms, but it would be a lot.
I'd like to is he doing anything that was positive on this agenda? Is there one thing that you could say that is a Mayor Gelber's initiative right now that you think is wonderful?
Yes, I have an item.
Okay. You have an item. Okay.
I have an item on Friday's Ocean Drive meeting that I'm co-sponsoring with Areola, which is we want to really discuss the enforcement plan and police and safety plan for Ocean Drive and the MXC. We want to make sure that we have an adequate amount of staffing. We want to make sure that the police that are out there are adequately really working, not just out there standing there, but are out there mingling with people, handing out masks, ensuring that there's safety out there. I've been concerned, and I've shared my thoughts with the police chief, so he knows this, that right now we have a curfew of midnight, yet we still have all these bad photos and images, kids jumping on police cars, a stabbing that's occurred, and these things are happening after midnight, after curfew. So I've told him, and he agrees we got to do a better job of getting people off the streets.
So how long has Chief Clemens now been the chief of police in Miami Beach? Is it 2 years?
I'm not sure. I think a little less, maybe a year and a half.
Have you seen a difference?
I've seen some difference in morale because clearly he's popular with the officers where former chief wasn't. But I think that the police, and I let Chief Clements know that, and for anybody from the police department, I'm super supportive of the police. You wanted Chief Clements, we gave you Chief Clements.
Hmm.
You want money, we pay you well. Whatever you need to do your job effectively, whether it's better technology, whether it's better cars, whatever you need, I will vote for, and I have approved and moved for a lot of those items. But now we need you to be out there making sure that we help clear up this issue and problem in the entertainment district. I know all of it is not police and safety, but we need to be sending a strong message that you can't be out after midnight. We have a curfew. You can't come to Miami Beach and break our laws. And this isn't about race or any one type of person. It's about people following and obeying the law.
Well, I would love to see this new city manager be transformative, be somebody who is out walking up and down Washington Avenue and Ocean Drive a few times a week with a walkie-talkie. And when he doesn't see any police officers, hold people accountable, because I know that it's hot during the summer. Unbearably hot almost. But the good thing about policing that area is you always kind of get an ocean breeze. No, but it gets so hot that it is hard to be outside. But we should have them in golf carts then, or, some way to be out and constantly patrolling. And one of the biggest complaints that continues on Ocean Drive is that if we were to walk down Ocean Drive right now, we would probably be offered like drugs and sex.
Wow. You get different offers than I do.
No drugs and sex for you?
I will say, I think I've been offered to buy marijuana, but nobody's offering me sex.
No? Well, then you got to walk along with me. And you'll see, you'll get the full, you'll get all sorts of different offers. So we have the upzoning of the 33 hotels that you talked about. We have the potential, and that's coming up when this next meeting?
That's being discussed on Friday at the special Ocean Drive meeting. It's still on the land use agenda as well.
And what time is that special meeting on Friday, the Ocean Drive meeting?
It's at 9 a.m. You can appear via Zoom, which I would recommend, because even if you show up, you won't be in the same room as the commission. So stay home, get on your computer, get on your phone, but do join us. There's a number of items there. One of them that the mayor put on also is about how you measure sound between the 9th and 11th Street blocks. That item never seems to go away. It's always on the agenda. But we're really looking for ideas about making it better. One issue that bothers me, and I've personally looked online, is we have a lot of little hotels on Ocean and Collins that are offering rates of like $40 a night.
Those are the problems. You know who owns those properties.
Well, it's a lot of them. I know one of them, but there's a lot of them out there that are really offering these low rates. And I'm asking our city attorney to give me an opinion on Friday. Can we further restrict occupancy? Because right now they're cramming in a bunch of young kids into those rooms.
And those $40 rooms, which come up, by the way, they have, there's 4 kids to a room. And a lot of times these are the same people who are coming in and renting the mopeds, and then we have to go and create moped legislation. Listen, this is like the millionth meeting on Ocean Drive. I'm not very optimistic that there's going to be any change. If you don't have a serious change in the city manager leadership, these small little laws are just going to get passed and put on the books, and then, in my opinion, largely ignored.
Well, I'll tell you, I partially agree with you.
Okay.
But one of the tools we've always had is these places all operate on our public sidewalks. And we've given the city manager emergency powers all year to take whatever action he deems is appropriate without commission approval. He can shut them down. He can take away their sidewalk cafe permits. And I've asked both the police chief and the city manager for Friday, who are the most egregious operators in town? Who are those repeat offenders that are problem after problem after problem?
Ooh, who are they?
I'm waiting for them to tell me, but I want to try. I want to try shutting some of them down. Like, you're leaving on December 11th. You haven't done it so far. Let's take drastic action. Let's send a message that if you want to operate on the city sidewalks, you got to follow the law. You got to follow the rules.
Well, I hope that we'll see change, but like I said, I am not convinced that this meeting is going to result in any serious change at all. But, listen, it's good that you're trying. We got to keep trying, right? No matter what.
Keep trying out there.
Okay, so to finish this out, there's a rumor that that Dan Gelber is leaving to take a place in the Biden administration somewhere. Have you heard that rumor?
I've heard it all over town. I wish somebody would ask him. But yeah, that rumor's all over town. but he's doing something. I don't know what. And that Biden's going to offer him some post.
So then we would really be without a mayor, and we wouldn't have a city manager, and we would have to have some sort of special election, because I don't think that anybody would vote for an appointment for mayor, right?
You never know. I mean, City of Miami just appointed a commissioner. Miami-Dade County is appointing somebody to replace the now mayor, Daniela Levine Cava. So stranger things have happened. But yes, the commission would either have to appoint within 30 days, I believe, or we would have to hold a special election.
Would you be okay if they appointed Michael Gongora? I would be okay if the appointment was a nice and, capable person. The only problem with an appointment is that then there's kind of like this leverage. Like, is there like a quid pro quo implied in the vote? Like, I'm voting for you for mayor, so now you've got to follow my agenda. I mean, once you're mayor, but your word is your word. So I would prefer an election, which I would hope that you would run for.
Thank you. I can tell you that if there is a special election and I continue to be healthy, I will be running.
Well, good. I am really excited. You heard it right here. Michael Gongora will be running for mayor against, right now, it seems like it would be Dan Gelber. So that's going to be the 2021 cycle. Gongora versus Gelber.
Wow. I said I'd be running in a special election, but let's see what happens with Gelber. I don't know why. I have a feeling this might be his last term, but you need to have him on the show and find out from him.
I couldn't do it, because I feel like I might get so angry and violent. He cuts me off at meetings. He tells the city clerk to cut me off at like a minute and a half instead of my full 2 minutes. As soon as I'm about to say something that he might find offensive, he never heard my items when I was on the commission. He would defer them from month to month. And they're horrible things. As a matter of fact, I felt guilty for talking bad about him, because Leon Kellner was just here, and he is the U.S. attorney for the former U.S. attorney for the Southern District. And he said, "I love your mayor. He was my first hire." And I was like, oh, he's a horrible mayor, Mr. Kellner. And then I felt bad. I'm like, should I not say anything bad about him? I've got to just live in gratitude and happiness. I'm going to try to spread some love. Dan, please stop the upzoning and do the right thing so I can sing your praises and say something positive about you for once. And that's all we have today. Is there anything else you'd like to share with everybody?
It's great to be back. It's great to be representing the residents of Miami Beach. 3 important meetings to look out for today at 5:30 on Zoom, a special building workshop of the Neighborhoods Committee. If you're interested in the building department and their permitting process, join us at 5:30. Friday, December 4th at 9 a.m. Join us on Zoom as we talk about Ocean Drive in the Entertainment District, and join us Wednesday, December 9th for our all-day regular commission meeting.
We're going to put that on the post afterward. But thank you. There's a lot going on in Miami Beach. So thank you guys for listening.